Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda, Jnana Paddhati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, Trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And Anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has his 5 face. Satyojata Murti has his 5 face. Ishana Murti has his 5 face. All these 5 Murtis, 5 faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada,
The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashiva, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashiva, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita decoded. I tell my disciples, when in doubt, treat the beggar as if he were a monk. If you have money to give, what harm is there if you give to enrich another person? Some people tell me, but Swamiji, they are cheating us. So what? Get cheated, that's all. When you give out of completion. Give unconditionally, or don't give at all. When you give out of completion, not expecting anything in return, what difference does it make whether you give to a monk or a beggar? If you expect that a monk will bless you, if you give, and that the blessing will have effect, why can't the blessing of a beggar have the same effect? How do you know that a person wearing a monk's grab is a truly leading a monk life? So giving alms to a sannyasi is like taking out of insurance. You expect that your merits are getting noted down in cosmic record and to decide whether you are going to go to heaven or hell. Make it simple. Give out of your completion. Give unconditionally. If you can't afford it, give even then. If you can't afford it, that is when giving becomes truly enriching. When you sacrifice what you cannot afford to sacrifice by the mere act of giving, you become a renunciate, a sannyasi. How noble it is! Arjuna is confused about the act and the actor. What is the importance in the act? Anyone can be an actor. Bhagavan very clearly and very beautifully says about the act and the actor. how it is so different, how when we conditionally give and unconditionally give. He says, make it simple, give out of your completion. Give unconditionally. If you afford it, give it. If you can't afford it, give whatever you can. Then only it's truly enriching. Sacrifice you cannot, what you cannot afford to sacrifice. By the mere act of giving, you become renunciation, a sannyasi. A noble it is. How noble it is. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
Shastra Pramana for the power of Mahima, power of increasing height of body and object, is taken from the Shiva Samhita 5.76 to 7a. मरणं घात्यते तेन सकेनापि न घाध्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अणिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सन्नचदते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगल्तीयूसमपि वर्धते मरणं खाद्यते तेन सकेनापि न खाद्यते तस्य स्यात् परमा सिद्धिर् अणिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सनचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेद् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगलप्तीयूसमपि वर्धते.
Shastra Pramana, eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, Shiva Samhita 5.7678. Bhagavan Parameshwara says, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. He manifests the highest powers such as Anima, Lahima, Mahima, etc. The Vayu wind energy moves equally throughout his body. The juices of his body also are increased. Rasa Vriddhi, the nectar excluding from the eternal lotus, also increase in him. Bhagavan beautifully says, the act and the actor. There is a huge difference how you understand life as action and returns from the action. Bhagavan says, without any returns, when we function, the act becomes noble. When we do it from the result is going to give me some benefit, the action itself becomes useless. The whole beauty about how when Adi Shankara goes to a lady for Bhiksha, the Bhiksha lady, she did not have anything in the house except a gooseberry. She could have told, I don't have anything, please go, come tomorrow. She says, no, that is a authenticity is even if I have one, I should give it away. That is the way we exist, the dharma. So she goes and offers it and completes with him that, sorry, this is what I have. So that authenticity of her, even giving that one bhiksha, he chanted the Kanakanara Sostra and goddess Lakshmi showered on her. She would have done a very, very small act, but from the context is so big that I should not miss giving Bhiksha. And that context was so beautiful that Adi Shankara just showered on her. The context is bigger than the action performed. Bhagavan always says, what is the context we are living? That is very, very important how we exist in each and everything. Are we living from the space I am Paramashiva and doing the action, thought, and word? Or we are doing from our context of our fear, greed, commitment, frustration, and our idea of responsibility, our idea of integrity? It is again getting into only incompletions. When we are thoroughly grounded in the ultimate as Paramashiva is only manifesting through me, this is what I have to offer, then simply they will start living those higher quality as reality. Again and again, Paramashiva says that death is eaten by him, He goes on, whoever possesses and whoever lives out of I, me, or my, goes on ticking his clock for the death, while he is eaten by none who are living the noble from the space of Paramashiva, then there is nothing. There is no I, me, and my. So what can he be dying out of? There is nothing to die because he's nothing is have. You can't rob a beggar. He doesn't have anything. You can only rob a rich man. Same way Bhagavan says, if you don't have anything, possession, in whether it is a I, me, or my, nothing inside you touches you, then nothing can be removed from you. You are the space of oneness. So he can manifest that is the person who can manifest all these Shaktis to the highest. Again and again, bringing that as your reality will make you understand that the act is so important than the action. Act from what context you are living. Then the action will be however big you do. That is why Bhagavan beautifully said the Pusalar Nayanar story, where the Pusalar Nayanar builds a Hridayeshwar temple only in his heart. But that was more greater than the real temple, the action of the king building a huge temple for the Paramashiva. Yes, building a temple for Paramashiva is excellent, but Pusala Naira made even that excellent to the next level of authenticity and made it in his heart. So the act, what he was doing is completely amazing beyond the action that the king did. That's why Paramashiva told that I'm going to go to Pusala Naina's inauguration. I cannot come for your because it's on the same day and he has called me. So the king understood how the act is so important. Those days, all the gurus were the ones who would guide the kings in any action so that the act becomes the action and it purifies the whole space. But now it's completely chaotic. The act should come from the context that I am Paramashiva from a powerful space. I'm in oneness with Paramashiva. Paramashiva is my only context, only strength. Any act done from this context, it's going to be the best reality that is going to happen. Any action, however big you have done, from your context you do, like Hiranyakasipu, Ravana, or all the asuras where they are very powerful. Ravana is so powerful, but he did all action without the context and missed the context of the whole space of Paramashiva is him and destroyed himself and others. So with this Shastra Pramana, let's go to the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana for power of decreasing the huge object. Ravana, this is from Agastya Purana. Agastya and Ravana has a competition on Veena. Ravana was creating a lot of trouble for people in Bharat and challenging people to come and fight with him. Had strength and courage, but since nobody had a strength and courage, everybody ran away. Agastya Maharishi had a plan. He said, we'll have a competition on Veena. So Agastya Maharaj will surrender if Ravana would lose and Ravana would surrender, leave people and go without disturbing if he wins. Ravana was very clear that he'll only win and they start. First Ravana plays the Veena and he's outstanding. Maharishi turn here, he prayed to Devi and started playing the Veena. His performance was so outstanding that the ice melted and poured down as a shower. At that time, Ravana realized Agastya Maharishi as Lord of Powers and then surrendered to him and accepted the defeat and went back. He did not trouble people for a long time. This is from Agastya Purana. From Apta Pramana, let's go to Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana, we have a beautiful experience in the Los Angeles Hindu temple. 6 feet 10 inches is the deity size, Nataraja deity, and the door is 6 feet 8 inches. So they were going to Swamiji telling about the problem. Swamiji said, don't worry, Nataraja will fit. Then they thought that did not take the measurement properly. They went and took the measurement again, but saw the measurement was exactly correct. So they went again and told Swamiji, Swamiji, the deity is not going to fit because the measurement we took and we confirmed this is the measurement. Swamiji again said that deity would fit. So they decided, okay, they'll take the deity inside and see what happens. They took the deity inside and the deity went inside and perfectly fit everything and went inside. Again, they took the deity measurement thinking maybe the deity shrunk the size and they saw the deity. No, the deity was 6 feet and 10 inches. And the door, they thought it would expanded. No, the door was 6 feet and 8 inches. How it happened, nobody knows, but Bhagwan's Leela, that it just fit and everything was beautifully happening as Swamiji narrated. Let's go to Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramanas are the millions of disciple devotees all around the world who are manifesting all these powers and sharing their testimonials with the world. This is a power of Ashta Maha Shakti, decreasing the height of the huge objects. Here they're saying on the day 1 of Mahasadashivam, the Balasan demonstrated all the powers, including Ahima, Mahima, Lagima, Garima, all the ability to increase the height, increase the weight. All the powers were demonstrated by the Gurukul Balasans, and the participants experienced all these great entanglement of power manifestation. Thank you, Swamiji. Excellent.
Pratyaksha Pramana. Scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. Deadlifting. Powerlifting exercises can be harmful to shoulder, lower back, and knee injuries, from muscle strain, tendons chronic to fractures. The deadlift exercise utilizes the entire posterior chain in the body and is considered one of the most effective full body muscle building exercises. However, deadlifts can pose a risk of spinal damage. Deadlifts place force on the spinal disc, especially when done with heavy weight. If you perform these exercises with a rounded or arched back, the amount of disc compression increases substantially and can result in bulged disc, pinched nerves, or other issues. Preparation and step-by-step personal coaching are necessary for novice who wants to lift heavy weight. Charts are given to indicate the average weight one can lift depending on the gender, height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting powers of Ashta Maha Shaktis, power of increasing the size of others. Mahima. How a Balasans from Nithyananda Gurukul can effortlessly uplift double the weight he should be able to lift for his height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting power of Ashta Maha Shaktis, powers to lift huge weights effortlessly. Also known as Lagima, power to make things lighter.
The Shastra Pramana, the direct words of Mahasadashiva, where Sadashiva reveals how this Shakti manifests. It is from the Paushkar Agama, Vidyapada, Patala 6. Lagima shigrage vitvam pankadhavapya majjanam Mahima vyapya chasthanam brihadendriyadadribihi. You can take on the stage now.
Yes, so first we have Srinivas, you'll be stepping up, and we'll take your weight first and see where you're at, and then we'll compare that number against the lift that you'll be doing. So if you want to just quickly step up and take your weight.
As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj, a Rudra of the Nithyananda order, is stepping up on the weighing scale. And you will be seeing, as you can see, he is 54.1 kgs.
So 54 kgs. And on the bar, as I mentioned earlier, I got a little excited talking about this, is 115 kgs. And just to put this into perspective, I actually haven't lifted this weight in over 3 years. So what he's going to be doing is something I haven't trained and done in 3 years, and so I'm excited to see this. What he'll be comparing is up against, and again, this is very logical, and there's a lot of numbers involved. He's lifting roughly 120 pounds more than somebody that is a beginner, which is completely insane because I'm assuming he hasn't been training. If I don't know how long he's been training for, but I don't think he's been training very long. And so 120 pounds more than a beginner he'll be lifting, and he's lifting a weight that I haven't lifted in over 3 years. So I'll let him take this.
So that's great. Srinivasa Maharaj, you can come up in the front. You can see Srinivasa Maharaj is getting into the position. As you can see, Srinivasa Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasan Maharaj is just 54 kgs, and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
Setting up for decreasing the weight of the height of the huge object. You can have huge object dumbbells or height of height measuring tape, a scale, Jnana camera with timestamp. Let us set the camera, download the timestamp app, click on the video, ensure the time is shown on the screen vividly and clearly. Make sure the camera is facing you in a bright light and a wide angle view. The height measurement should be seen very clearly in the camera. Please take a picture also during the process. Please make sure these are very extraordinary moment. So capture always in the camera all your Shakti Avishkarna videos. Guidelines to manifest the powers. Turn on the video recording. Put the Jnananjan between your eyebrows, the third eye. Bring the awareness to your third eye. Place the heavy object in front of you. Measure the height accurately a couple of times so that the height is clearly seen. And through the third eye, change the height of the large object. After manifestation, again measure the height again a couple of times to get the accuracy. If your height has decreased, you are manifesting the powers. Your height has to decrease by 5 to 10 points. If you're taken for 10 centimeters, 10 feet object, it should be 10 feet and 10 centimeter difference. It has to be shown. If you feel the heat or the Kundalini energy, or you can see small changes happening like 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter, excellent. You've started manifesting the powers. Celebrate it, and simply you'll start manifesting from your depth dimensions. Verify the video authentically that you are able to see the height measurements of decrease very clearly. It should be 10 feet. It should be 9 feet. It should come to the 10 centimeter lower than the 10 feet, 9 feet and few inches. So make sure the height is correctly measured in the video and it is seen vividly and clearly. And share the video with others with the powerful cognition, and listen to others' videos of the same manifestation for experiencing the manifestation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shakti Pada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent,
illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thoughts. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers. They start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea-based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. whether government power supply or the generator power supply. End result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification process for decreasing the height of the huge object. Verify no video editing is happening, no video is not stopped or started during the manifestation. All videos are verified with a timestamp and wide angle view. Do not touch the huge object during the manifestation. Do not tamper the height by adding or removing any item on the object. Authentically, the height decrease should be 5 to 10 units and seen it visibly the changes for you to authentically manifest the powers. Thank you so much for manifesting these powers.
We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar manifesting power groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham